Hey guys, it's model making time and we're here at Key Model World Live, the first time that they've done this show, and we'll see what it's all about. Welcome to Key Model World Live, and well, this is a full show report, so every single stand I hope I've captured in this. So that's both rail layouts and displays, and also any model clubs that are there too. For the rail clubs, I'm not going to talk too much whilst their sort of displays are being shown off. And what I'll also do is upload a second version of this video without any of the music, so if you do want to just hear the clubs themselves, if there's no talking that I've had to remove, then by all means you can too. So I made sure my microphone was on my camera the whole way around to make sure I captured the raw audio. I'll try and give you as much information as I can, but as many of you know, I am not a train person myself, so I put the information on screens for sort of what the clubs are and the layouts. And as the model club comes around, I will talk about them too. But for the most part, I just want you to sit back and relax as we go around Key Model World Live 2024, because I am already hyped for next year's show in 2025, because if they do anything near as good as this show, then, well, we could have a competitor against Telford. But let's get into the show. As we entered the show, we went straight to the left, and Hornby were there, so a good place to start our exploration of this show. Then with the, well, I guess the newcomer or the revival scale of the sort of model railway world, which is TT120. I'd not actually seen this in person before, so this is my first experience, and I think this is the only layout really I saw at the show which was in TT120, as it's quite a limited range at the moment, but Hornby really are trying to push this. But in the more traditional scale, we had this second demo from Hornby, and this is a scale that I grew up sort of admiring and loving, and well, it still holds up today. Though I will say during the course of the show, I became quite fascinated by Engage because it's such a manageable scale. So it was really wonderful to see all these scales next to each other at Key Model World Live. It was amazing. Airfix obviously were next to Hornby, and this show is a wonderful combination of both model railways and modelling in general, alongside sort of similar skills with remote control vehicles, and seeing the new Airfix kits on display, it excites me. This RNLI Shannon class lifeboat is something I'm very excited to get my hands on, because I've never finished a boat before, and this looks actually kind of manageable. And then we have the B24 and the Chinook. Now the Chinook I have on pre-order. I'm very excited to build this at some point, and it's huge. I did not realise how big this is going to be. There were lots of vehicles scattered around, and for some reason I did not take footage of any of the other vehicles, but there was a train and a truck in this exhibition hall. It is amazing. Our first railway then, and I'll let you just sit here and enjoy Fordon Hill. a completely different change of pace now, and we're heading over to Northbridge, Worley. Although this is a merchant, I believe, this was just a really cool layout. As just someone who's used to trains, it was really cool seeing all these next to each other. A really unique layout here, and I think the only one at the show with a working turntable at the end. And yes, I managed to record it in action. Off to Grindley Brook with his lovely curved layout, and this was a display that was on the end of the aisle, and it was really relaxing. Allerby up next, and you've seen one of the trains in the opening shots of this video. This was a lovely layout that you could get fairly close to, so it allowed me to get some really lovely camera work. I really like the backgrounds on these as well. It really helps bring the layout to life. This beautiful layout is Kinlochleven, and I love this. You can just hear the waterfall and just think of this lovely, quaint station. Beautiful. We're now heading over to a Welsh display, Melin Llechi, which is slate in Welsh. Mother Combe up next, and it was really cool to see their display later in the day. It had like a happy hour, so anything goes for their juniors, where they could just put anything on the line, which again is really cool from railways, because this is what it's all about, right? Having fun. The first of our model displays is the Great War SIG, one we've seen many times on this channel. In fact, a lot of the models we've seen here already. Models tend to take a fair amount of time to change, particularly so during the mid to end of the year leading up to Telford. So you will have seen a couple of these models before, but hopefully there are a couple of things that you haven't seen in the previous videos. I love the dioramas that the Great War SIG do. They're always absolutely awe-inspiring. I really wish I could do work even remotely similar to what they do. They're very evocative and dramatic. I mean, just look at this. I honestly just don't know how they managed to capture the brutality of the First World War, as it's got so much further away. Over 100 years since the First World War happened, it's even more important that we keep these memories and realities alive in model making, and it's one of the things that model making is really important for. In fact, with more recent conflicts going on, modelling has become yet another way for people to express their fears, their anxieties, and also their memories of what's happened. And that's why I really love the Great War SIG. They keep an important part of history alive. So I've done a couple of close-ups of just what I thought were my favourite sort of displays. I say favourite, but it's probably the wrong word given the context of these. Some of these we've definitely seen before. I know Old Mare we've seen several times. And I love this Sopwith Stretcher. I think this was in Belgian colours. And this sound the alarm from the Battle of the Somme. IPMS Brampton is another display that we've seen before, and they've got their own show on Sunday the 29th of September 2024, so check that out if it's in your area in St Ives. I went to that show, I think in 2022, if I remember correctly. The Predator on display was something that I don't know if I've seen before, and the Wallace and Gromit car from Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Concorde on display as well, and this was a really good mix of a sci-fi, aircraft, and, well, boats. I don't know anything about boats, so I don't want to say anything incorrectly. Of course, one model on this table caught my eye, and that's the HS123. I mean, at this point, you guys should know what I really enjoy seeing. So we got a picture of that. We also got a picture of this French, I want to say Mosquito, could be a Hornet, I don't really know the difference between the two. And I took a picture of the Wallace and Gromit vehicle, and also proud of that because, I mean, one of the best sci-fi franchises of all time. We then headed over to West Midlands Police Scale Model Club. They do also have their own model show, however, as of recording, I could not find a date for this year, so keep an eye out for that. They are in the Birmingham area as well. Really lovely display and a really rich variety of topics. The monstrous Lancaster in the middle obviously dominates the display, and I did also get a picture of the Vulcan as well because, I mean, they're always a crowd pleaser. You always need to take a picture of them. And this policeman, well, policewoman I should say, here as well. Also, there was some Gundam on the table, so Mr. Modeler wanted that in the video, so I certainly took a video and, well, made sure that we could have Gunplanner featured. And Gunplanner's on a few stands here as well. The F14 SIG. First SIG we're seeing. Actually, no, second SIG, sorry. We've seen the Great War SIG. The second SIG we're seeing. This display is a lot heavier in F14s than it has been at some previous shows, but to be honest, I love this SIG regardless of how it is. Top Gun is just such a fun franchise, and the F14 is just such an amazing, awesome aircraft. Love seeing the variety on display here between sort of reality and fiction, such as this Iranian F14, the F18 from Maverick, and then the F14 from the undisclosed nation in Maverick 2. The Tornado SIG were next on our radar. The Tornado SIG obviously focuses on one aircraft and one aircraft alone, the Mighty Tornado, a three-nation effort between Italy, Germany and the UK. Originally France were involved in the project before they left, and their own thing is quite common in collaborative aviation projects. We took a picture of this RAF example and then followed it up with this beautiful Italian variant. Next up were Fenland and Spalding, who have Wings and Things on the 22nd of September 2024. Put it in your diaries if you want to see them. This is a stand that always has a lot of variety and creativity to it. Wallace and Gromit here was just really, really funny, and I saw a few people take pictures of that. And we've got a Blonde Boss here as well, always a wacky thing to see. And a Saunders Row jet fighter boat plane, which is a real thing. I promise you, go and have a look at it. IPMS Club was present as well, so if you want to stay up to date on what IPMS is doing and get into Scale Model World, then that's your ticket. Gloucester Model Show is also happening on the 22nd of September. Now, their stand is also always a wide variety of sci-fi and reality. Some really interesting subjects here, including this Polish MiG-29, something we won't see for much longer, and this former British heavyweight tank that's been left to rust, and some Austrian helicopter power. Some more Gunpla on display, as again, that's quite frequent throughout the show. Models for Heroes are an amazing charity. You can see the link to their website there, where you can go and support them by either donating or buying from their shop. I actually have their paintbrush stand myself, something I just bought myself because I wanted a paintbrush stand and wanted to support a local charity. Always love their stand as well because it shows the wide variety of modelling. These little tin models I think are adorable, and these sort of bookshelf, book nook sort of models I just think are fabulous and are getting ever more popular thanks to them. Now, whilst recording this, I did double check because we've had 3 clubs, all with shows on September the 22nd, 2024, but that is correct for children, so you're going to have to choose between one of the 3, it seems. I really love this layer, and I love the Free France tank here. And then we also had this phenomenal winter scene here as well at Warhammer 40k. Got this World War I Italian scene, something you don't see very often, but Mr. Modeler loved that. And this P-39 in the desert. We've got the BMFA, the British Model Flying Association, here as well. This is something I don't think I've seen at any show before, so again, really love that we had all of the varieties of modelling on display, because it just really shows how wide this hobby is, from really small models you make on your table all the way up to these massive, more expensive than probably anything I own, a sort of like aircraft that can really look and move like the real thing. They are just absolutely stunning machines, and yeah, I don't think I'll ever be able to afford one in my lifetime, but they look beautiful, and yeah, I really want to go and see like a model flying show now. Ruston and Hornsby have a recreation of a Sheaf Ironworks, or a creation of Sheaf Irons Works, and this is a really lovely layout. A lot of detail and love had been put into this layout. Don't know if I captured it, but the crane here moves, which is such a lovely little detail. Now, this layout of Dublingham Goods Station reminds me of sort of like a museum piece, almost like a TV. It's a really interesting layout. Love seeing these sorts of associations, the Double O Gauge Association. Really amazing ways for you to meet people who have similar interests to you, because I know I've made loads of friends through the model making community and have supported me through some really difficult times, so always worth reaching out. And then we're over to this really unique layout at Providence. Now, trains and planes aren't everything. We also have Tamiyat Trucks here as well. I was really excited to see this because I just love these sorts of things. Now, my only experience with trucks is those like ones you see at theme parks where you pay like a quid and you get to like drive the little truck around for a bit, and obviously those are nowhere near the level of detail of this, but it just sort of brings me back a little bit seeing these. I love them. I think this is amazing, and it's something that's so different. You never see it show, so I absolutely love this. And they were transporting the mud from one end to the other, which is just so creative. We're over to Dad's army now with Stodmarsh. Association of London Bottlers are here, and this prop selection right at the front is followed by some really unique pieces such as, well, I think it's a Spanish F4, which I think I've ever seen a model of. Tanks are obviously not my forte, but they had a wide selection there. And an RAF X-Wing, and gosh, I love this South African P51. It's just a really lovely design. This sort of Royal Canadian Air Force Rescue Lincoln or Lancaster, not too sure, don't know the difference too well myself, and his Bolton as well. Now Bolton, we've actually done their show and I did a whole video on them, first show of the year that I went to, and absolutely amazing show. Their display here is also phenomenal, and they had the training sort of SIG next to them as they usually do. But this is their own display itself. Really love the Jaguar. I want to say it's the Allerby Jaguar, I think. Is it 172nd? But yeah, and the Blackjack Eurofighter Typhoon, which I think is the original kit. I don't know. I probably should have asked that. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments if I've got that wrong. But yeah, the livery here, I don't know if this has been carried on for this year actually. And this is the Jaguar. I absolutely love it. I just love this livery. And we've got BA 146 in RAF service, which I just think looks really cute. And then F4 in Japanese service. Now this is the Training Aircraft Special Interest Group, SIG, as I was mentioning earlier. Now they are actually celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Hawk. They said at the show that the layout they have here is sort of a test for when they go to Telford, because they are going to be having the massive display at Telford of Hawks. Lovely to see some of the display teams that exist for the Hawk already present here, such as the Midnight Hawks and the RAF Arrows and Surya Khan of the Indian Air Force. Hopefully we'll see some other examples too, like the Saudi Hawks, because I've made the Saudi Hawks, well, Saudi Falcons, I can't remember what that name they use now, but they look beautiful. So love to see a couple more there. As the Midnight Hawks I mentioned a moment ago, I've also made that too. Red Arrows as usual, can't not have those in the Hawk display, really, can you? And it's not just got Hawks there. This is the Blue Impulse T4, the Harrier Special Interest Group, really love the Harrier, an aircraft that we're not going to see for much longer, but they do have a Matador, which is the Spanish variant of the Harrier, flying at Riyadh again this year, so that'll be really nice to see that. This massive scale, I'm assuming 124 scale Harrier here, and then we have this one riding on a plume of smoke or in a cloud. Now I went to get some ice cream and left Mr. Modeler, who is much more into sea vessels than I am, to do Spithead Maritime review. This is an absolutely phenomenal display, split up into different sort of categories, whether that's by nation or type. This is one of the most detailed displays I think I've ever seen of anything ever. So if you love vessels of any kind, you are going to absolutely love this display. Obviously I asked to get the aircraft at the end because it's something that I really liked. So we've got these really microscopic aircraft that go to scale. Absolutely amazing, the detail on these. I mean, I don't know how you make these. I just couldn't. It's absolutely amazing work. Caen Model Club as well. Caen Model Club are another one that we've seen pretty much every show. I think we saw them at Bolton as well. Top Cat. And I like the Scalextrics layout as well, because it's something you just don't see very often. It's a lovely canned seaboat at the front there as well in Romanian colours. A few dioramas on this display, but it's actually predominantly dioramas of much larger scale than you see in most areas, which is always really cool to see. And some unusual subjects such as like vehicle repair, a training repair yard, this sort of docking scene, and then we've got some sci-fi with Robocop, the Batmobile, Battlestar Galactica, Firefox, Thunderbirds, Alien, pretty much anything that you can think of. Now I've got a couple of pictures, including this Count Z1501 in Romanian colours. Got the Scalextrics scene here as well, because I just think this is really unusual. And Scalextrics was sadly very lacking from the show. Got Alien here as well, because why not? One of the merchants again then was a 3D Gizmo. They were right next to Caen, and I think they probably have member relations, because they were next to them, I think, at Bolton too. Got Chelmsford here as well. Their model show is not on the same date as the other ones. This one's on the 19th of October, so put it in your diaries. Really like the Terminator they had here. That was probably my favourite thing on this, because how can you not adore Terminator? Again, one of the best franchises ever. And we also had some other interesting things on display here, including Lego bus, something I've never seen before. Solihull Model Club were next door. Did have a look at this club, couldn't see a show for them. It could be that they share with other people, that is quite common, or they just don't have one. All Nippon Airways here, always have really interesting schemes on their aircraft, and this Blue Impulse F-86E Sabre with Fujimiga. There's Junkers Ju-88 in the middle of the table in this lovely winter scheme, and some Tau ready to fight at the side of the table. Sutton Coldfield here as well. I think their show has passed this year from what I could see online, so can't see anything. And I couldn't see a date for next year, so I haven't put that there, but they always have a really good show and they always have a really good stand. Now these transparent boxes that are used for displays is something that came into fashion probably about nearly 10 years ago now. I've seen a lot of change from them, but I think they look really good and they're really good for separating things up and giving things a spotlight. This Buccaneer and Phantom at the end I think look really, really swell. I've just got a couple of other really unique things on here, including this European tram car with Coca-Cola markings on. And here's the aforementioned Buccaneer and Phantom. Also got a Sea King here. A really popular subject now, particularly with the release of the Airfix kit. Well, its first model show is on the 19th of October. I did double check that. Now, they have an amazing table, and they have one thing in the middle where I'm just going to let them explain what this chess set that they made is all about.
Past members collected these over years because they were produced in the mid-70s.
Yeah.
And I think they carried on in the early 80s. And his brother collected them with the intention when he retired he was going to build a chess set. Of course, this thing goes, when you retire, your eyes have gone, your head's gone, your fingers are gone. He couldn't be up to it, so he donated them to the club. And over the last 12 months, each member has taken 2 figures and painted. So they go from like very basic, almost toy soldier painting to something like one of our guys who does master painting.
So yeah, you heard that. This was donated by someone who always wanted to make this and never got the chance to, so their club did it themselves. And I think that's absolutely beautiful in the spirit of modelling. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is Pete Waterman's world record for the longest portable model railway, and actually whilst they were there, they announced they got the record, which is amazing to see that. In fact, you're actually going to see the train that they used to measure it go around this during the course of this video, and I'll let you know when that's happening. This layout is Milton Keynes and the surrounding area, and it's an absolutely phenomenal layout, especially considering it's portable and can be moved and is all handmade. It is absolutely astounding. This layout, not only being incredibly long, has a lot of really unique details. The buildings surrounding it can be sort of 3D and pop out, and the stations are incredibly detailed, as you can tell as well. I really love layouts like this. They really bring them to life. It's why I love places like Miniature Wonderland as well. The rooftop parking, their offices. It just all helps really make it a real immersive display. There were a couple of things hidden around here though, like this Christmas tree, which is just always in the season, and we do also have Superman hiding on one of the roofs. The fact that they've got benches though on the platform is absolutely insane. I did wonder about these sort of platform markings, and a lot of these are sort of printed stickers. And here's some of the rooftop markings. Sorry, rooftop parking that we mentioned a moment ago. I really love these. It just looks real. I like that they've got some cars that are just sort of pulling out of their spots as well, or going into their spots too. It's just, yeah, it's really, really cool. Now, here's the Guinness World Records official, going around and just inspecting it to make sure that they are confident that this is fully portable but also fully handmade. So they went around the entire thing. Now what you're going to see in a moment is the train that they used to measure and validate the layout, because they'd measured it once and they needed to validate it for Guinness World Records. They were satisfied with the program they were using, so they've got this train, and you'll hear the clicking is it counting sort of the distance, and then they calculated it and it was successful.
Yeah, I can't think of many other things that you could do to do it.
Yeah, especially four times. Actually,
Powered boat modelers. I love that obviously have powered boats. Some of these are made from kits, as you can see here, from this 1/72 scale flower class Corvette. They said one of these had a lot of scratch building, or potentially both of them did. Sort of a conversation I overheard, but I've never really seen these before, so they looked absolutely amazing. Next to that, we had Tiny Flying Legends. I literally said to Miss Model, like, this is my dream if I ever had the space for something like this. The fact they'd just done a recreation of Duxford to make their own model show in miniature. Obviously this is a work in progress, as you can tell, but I really can't wait to see this grow over shows and just see it get busier and just more and more beautiful. I wonder if they're going to have any animated sort of aircraft as well, because that would be phenomenal. West Norfolk as well have a model show on the 23rd of June 2024, so put that in your diaries if you do want to have a look at it. West Norfolk have a couple of interesting things on display here, and the beauty of having a show like this is it's not just going to be aircraft that people look at. Though I will say the RC135 that is on this table is phenomenal, and he did spend quite a while talking about the amazing amount of work that went into that with resin detailing, but you can see here this rail yard is incredible. The weathering, the work is, yeah, I'm glad that it got some attention, because this RC135 is incredible, don't get me wrong, but it's just the two different types of amazing work there. Kitmaker Network is an online forum, and they have their own display. I was going to say display team, but that's not quite right. They have various sort of model stands, which is the British Bulldogs. Ferris wheel on TV there is a very unique take, and they have a wide variety of models on display. As I say, they had a Ferris wheel on the TV, but they also had F-16s, the Thunderbirds there. But then we're followed up with the What If Special Interest Group. This is one that we see at a lot of displays, and there are a couple of things here that we just like. We had the Kurt Tank designed jet fighter that never saw into production, but there was an Argentinian derivative. This is a Japanese variant. There was a Swiling version as well. There's also an A7, which was a Japanese fighter that was around towards the end of the war, and this is done in sort of realistic markings, as it never quite reached. I'll let you listen to this, Lancaster. You've heard the Lancaster, and now you can see the rest of Coventry and Warwickshire's stand. That model show is on the 30th of June this year. Not too long to go. They have a really varied stand. Two active things on here. That's the Lost in Space and the Lancaster. Both are very noisy and wonderful. This mountain expedition at the top, and then we have some helicopters at the front. Love the VW camper in sort of British Union Jack colours, and we've got some Battlestar Galactica at the far side as well. I went for this Panzer in the winter. Hinkley had their show this year, but unfortunately due to me, breaking my ribs, I did not attend their show. However, I will hopefully be attending their show next year, providing I don't decide to injure myself again. Their display featured a wonderful array of bombers in unique and interesting camouflage schemes that we used in the course of the war. World War II saw a lot of interesting camouflage schemes, and this was just some of them. Really lovely to see these on such massive bombers too, including the B-24, which obviously Airfix have just released their new kit of, and this Mosquito in wood finish is phenomenal. Harrier Hornsby is a club that is close to my heart because they are based somewhere that one of my family members was quite a while ago, so it's really cool to see a club that is based on the base, well, I have family relation to back when they flew BC-10s. This is a club made up of what I understand to be current serving personnel at the base, and the models here are absolutely spectacular. This Gnat I thought just looked essentially like it was a real plane, and I loved this diorama. Now, these next load of collections I've sort of put together as one sort of long video. So these are all people from Airfix Model World. Absolutely incredible displays, but I thought I'd just let you go through them and have a look because they are spectacular. Fairport Wharf is one of the only dockside train layouts that I saw at the show, and I thought it was amazing. This layout is called I Had That, I think, Cryptosayer, and it's sort of an out-of-box experience, and I think it looks absolutely adorable and doesn't take away from the phenomenal layout. This is the Big Sats Dobson Bridge. This is Gauge 1 Model Railway Association, and these are the massive trains. It's amazing to see these going around the track. This was one of my favourites at the show, and it's Ruston. I guess in terms of like layout, it's probably more simple than a lot of them, but I just think it was an absolutely charming Austrian railway. From charming Austria to busy 21st century China, we have Beijing, and this is an amazing Chinese layout complete with working vans. From busy China to, I guess, rural maybe Germany, this is Sparkle. Unfortunately, there were no trains when you went past the layout, but I've hoped to capture the imagination of the scene, the diorama, by showing you some close-up shots. We've now come to the relative warmth of Saint-Ferdinand, I'm assuming that's said, which seems to be sort of maybe French Mediterranean. Oh wait, it's giving me warm vibes. Then it's Little Ashton of the Engage Society. Engage is really curious. It's something I'm genuinely considering getting into. What do you think? Do you think I can make a nice layout? We now come to one of the most interesting layouts in the sense that this has a working underground. Yeah, it's insane, and there are so many hidden details. Incredible at Dagenham End. We then head over to Berwick for a really efficient and busy little layout. One of the centerpieces of the show was Blair Athol. This depicted, I guess, sort of a Highland scene or a Scottish borderland scene. It's the thing I got from it anyway. And it shows this sort of road with a river and a train line next to it going into like a village, which again has like a small railway and then like a holiday camp at the top of it. It's beautiful. We now have two layouts from Noel Group. First is Scarlington, which is a busy town with a really lovely railway going through it, and a working funicular railway as well, which I didn't expect to see, but it's absolutely beautiful. And after that we have Rambling Bridge, which is not as busy a layout and is more of a haulage layout. I don't really know the terminology, sorry, I'm new to trains, but yeah, absolutely wonderful work. Here at Oldham Park you can even see inside the workshop. This is really cool. One of my favourites was Neverton Parkway, and that's because I've actually been on a lot of these trains, which gives that like personal touch, I guess. So yeah, I really love this layout, and it just seemed really quirky and full of lots of little details, which I always find really immersive. Then we have Norman Colliery. This is a sort of old mine, but it's not the mine is what I've understood. It's more than the mine. Yeah, lovely little layout. Sorry, I say little, I don't mean small. I just think it's cute. Then we head over to row 19, Patrick Lane Flask Terminal. The sounds of this really brought it to life. Then we head over to Fence Houses NCB. What I really liked was all the details behind the railway, with the little sort of villagey town area and the workshop at the back. Now at Bury, Thon and Solon, this had 2 trains running at the time, and one of them went to hook up and pull some sort of liquids transport.
Managed to track some down then. Oh. More the bad one, that.
With that, we've reached the end of the stands. This is DCC train automation. This is sort of the start the merchants we're going to see. I did actually buy a couple of things at the show. I bought some more life colour paints from the airbrush company, and I also bought some clothes actually from On the Rails. In terms of the merchants, I don't know rail merchants like super well, so I don't actually know like what stores were great, what weren't. There were loads that I recognised, like the Model Company, as I say, like Airbrush Company as well. But to be honest, a lot of these are really new to me because I just don't do rail. But it was really cool to sort of see the different merchants and see some that actually I've seen online, because there's been like this weird product that I wanted for normal model making and it's used mostly in like rail modelling, so it was really cool. There was one that I really liked to see, which was Beacon Models. You do like 1/144 scales stuff. That was really cool. And also you had Bachmann here. So I know they're quite a large train company, or one of the largest in Europe as far as I understand. But again, because I don't do trains, like I'm very much a novice and noob to this area, so you'll have to let me know what you think. I just tried to do a walk around. There were some lectures in here during the course of the day as well. It was only on Saturday apparently, so sorry for those who come on Sunday. But yeah, it was really cool to see such a vibrant and wonderful display. Having both model making and railway together meant you got so much more variety compared to, I guess, any show that just has one of them. And the show itself seemed really accessible. It had really wide aisles and it never felt too cramped, which a lot of model shows can do, including Telford, and Telford is very over 3 halls. This was a remarkable show, and I'm really glad that I came, and I'm really looking forward to going to the show next year. So fingers crossed that happens, because I will be so excited. But let me know what you think. If you went to the show, drop a comment down below. If you didn't, what did you think of the show? Do you think you'll attend next year? And make sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with the latest videos as they come. There's some more model making to come in the future. And with that, I'll see you all later. Have a good day, wherever you are. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching the video, and an extra thanks goes to every single one of my channel members. You help make these videos possible. An extra shout out goes to my advanced kit level members. You get a shout out at the end of each video. That's Leslie Schramm, World War II scale models, Leslie Schramm, Karen Bentley, Mast Hand, Stefan Scooter, Mast Hand, Bob and Genevieve Albridge, David Barber, Taggers 365, Jeff's Dioramas 365, ING, and my 2 longest time supporters, Explosive Water and Crazy Loja. And make sure to subscribe to the channel to see new videos every time they come out. Well, there's a recommended video here just for you. So why don't you go have a watch and see if you enjoy more of my content. Have a lovely day.